Serenade at your mama's crib.
Oh no! I'm at her sister's crib right now.
Oh my bad. At your sister's crib.
I'm at her sister's crib. Her mama just came over though.
Well, everybody, now that we caught your attention, welcome back to There's Layers to It. As you guys are aware, for anybody who
Hold
isn't.
on. Did you press the record button on that?
Yes, sir. We are going. We are live. I just didn't hit no music on it. So, everybody, welcome to our new little setup. This is our living room. We finally got some feng shui going up in this boy.
This has been the living room.
Yeah, but y'all have never seen
Yeah, y'all
the
just
living
never
room.
saw it.
We just kind of switched to the other side. So we were recording over there in the kitchen. That way, we switched it over here.
In the kitchen?
In the dining room? My bad, guys.
Dining
Area. Kitchen table.
I'm not renewing the lease on this place, though.
There's too many damn noises that be going on in here, man.
I keep telling you. There's so many noises going around here, but... Look, it's fine that they housed us here, and we're having
a good time. We're having a damn good time.
We're
just like we hope everyone out here listening to us, everyone out here watching us on YouTube is having a good time. If you are, make sure you subscribe to the page, hit the notification button, and then drop a like or a comment if you really see fit to. We support everybody, and we hope you support us. We don't support everybody, but everyone should support us.
I was about to say, I don't support a lot of people.
But even if you don't support us, that's okay, because you gave us a view anyways.
Yeah.
Another thing that we viewed was the Super Bowl yesterday.
That was a travesty that happened last night.
We're going to be touching on that a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the Hall of Famers that got voted in. I'm a little surprised at one of the selections and that he got chosen in on his first time, but then again, not at the same time. We'll get into that. Is there anything else you want to throw into the docket today? Anything that's irking your mind?
No, not really. But I want to ask you something because Ricardo sent it to me on Instagram. Did you, I don't know if I sent it. I probably didn't send it to you. Keven Garnets said that the point guards 20 years ago wouldn't be able to compete with the point guards of right now, and I wanted to get your opinion on that because when Ricardo asked me about that,
we're talking about like Allen Iverson.
Yeah, that the 2000s because we're in 2021, right? So if we're going back to 2001 season, okay, well I guess 2001, 2002 because we're in 2020 going into 2021.
Was Gilbert Arenas the point guard?
No, it would be 20. Gilbert was in there during that time.
Right,
so here are the people.
Gilbert can compete. AI can compete.
Here are the people that I listed off, right? And these were just like basic people, right? It was Tony Parker was on that list.
Tony Parker is an obvious choice. Like
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton's Hall of Famer. His defense would easily translate into today.
Okay, so I said Jason Kidd, Tony Parker,
hands down.
AI, young Kobe. You got to remember. Well,
he's technically a shooting guard, but I'll
that's
pass.
that's still a guard. Steve Nash.
Yeah. Look, the point guards back in the early 2000s, they were legit.
They were legit.
You want to talk about Mike Bibby?
I was just about to say Mike Bibby. Technically speaking, wait, when did John Stockton retire? So John Stockton would still be there, wouldn't he?
That I'm not sure about. I'm not a John Stockton
Well, I'm saying that because Karl Malone was on that team, that 2002-2003 team. The time that they didn't win the finals, I know that Karl Malone was on that team. That's the only reason I said what's his name, John Stockton. But I just thought that was kind of odd. That's really all I wanted to get your opinion on it, but I just really think that that's odd. Just because Allen Iverson alone.
Okay. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
So if he's gonna sit here and say that the guards of the early 2000s couldn't sit here and compete, I for damn sure know the big men are not gonna be able to compete. because they can't run up and down the floor the same way that these big men can. And then they don't have the dribble skills. They don't have most of them didn't have the athleticism. Like, if you look at Keven Garnett, he would be someone who would translate because he has the speed, the size, the athleticism, and the shooting ability, plus defense.
I still think that Shaq would thrive.
Well, Shaq would thrive in any era. That man is the Diesel.
Yeah.
When you get over a certain amount of nicknames,
right,
you know you're great.
Right.
Nobody's going to talk. When you play a genie in a bad movie, it's still just...
That boy was Shazam. That boy was Shazam and was still just like
everyone
dominating.
Loves Shaq.
But he was a very dominant player in the NBA.
Hands down. Shaq is definitely the most dominant player to probably ever play in the NBA.
Sidebar, do you remember when Kevin said that Anthony Davis was better than Shaq?
Hey man, I don't put faith in the foolishness that other people put out there. I had a kid look me dead in my eyes and say that Steph Curry wasn't a top 5 point guard.
What?
Yeah, man. Young kids.
I remember.
Young kids are wild.
I remember.
Young kids are wild.
Yeah.
They don't really know what the game is. We may be younger guys ourselves, but damn, we did our history. We know what's going on.
I mean, even still, we still knew of those individuals. Now, granted, some of those individuals we saw in their later years, but we went back to see. So I mean, yeah, we did our history, but I mean, they were still kind of down. Well, I mean, except for Shaq. I mean, that. Look, we don't speak about his Celtics time.
What about his Cleveland time? What about when he was a Phoenix Sun?
Right, like we don't talk about those times.
What about when he came out with the Blue Man Crew? That was sweet. At the All-Star game, his little dance. Yeah, that's why I love Shaq.
I don't remember that.
Those are the reasons I love Shaq. He's just a person who is out there being the biggest character he can be and loving life every day.
Yeah, but we got on a little bit of a sidebar here.
We did, but that happens when you're talking NBA. That happens when you're talking sports. Obviously, sometimes it's just nice to do a deep dive.
I guess.
That's all right.
I guess we have to talk about this fucking game.
All right. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. It was supposed to be the matchup.
You probably enjoyed just watching me sit there and just be fucking mad.
You know what's funny? I sat there the whole game, not really. I didn't enjoy this game at all.
Do you think I enjoyed the fucking game?
If anybody knows us and has went back and listened to our previous videos,
hell, if you just know me in general,
you know that we here at There's Layers to It, we're rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. This was a Kansas City Chief household for the Super Bowl, and it was hella disappointing.
Well, it's been half Kansas City the whole time.
Well, hold on, I was always Buffalo, people. So like this game, I didn't have interest to the fullest extent that I should have.
But it was supposed
game
to be...
didn't do anything for me. I thought the game was underwhelming. As just
a
fan of football, that game was very underwhelming.
I will say Todd Bowles called a hell of a game.
Well, obviously, you have to give it to Todd Bowles. If you don't know who Todd Bowles is, he is the defensive coordinator for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was also previously a coach for the New York Jets.
And they hired
before Adam Gase.
I was about to say, and they fired him for Adam Gase.
One bad coach to another bad coach, but he's a damn good coordinator, and he had a phenomenal game plan to stop Patrick Mahomes and that Kansas City Chief offense.
That was the most explosive offense in recent history.
It's still, it is the most.
No, but I'm saying
explosive offense going into the game,
right? And that defense
we've seen 3 years of them just being damn near unstoppable every quarter.
Especially when they get down.
We saw the flaws this year, especially with their inability to run the football.
Yeah.
And if you look at it in the long term, right? So you're missing 3 starters on that Chiefs offensive line, which is that's a lot. Even to just be down 1.
I was just about to say the game was that we did say that game was going to be won or lost in the trenches.
It definitely
came down to it.
in our previous episode where we did
Yeah.
go over our Super Bowl picks, we spoke on the fact that that front seven of Tampa Bay was fantastic. We gave our shout outs to Devin White. We gave
The
our shout out
motherfucker
to
with 4
Levante
fingers.
David. 3. JPP, him and his club. Well, he doesn't wear the club
He doesn't
anymore.
wear a club
but
anymore.
His hand just looks like a club. And, I mean, Vita Vane and Dominican Sue, that team just has so
And
many.
then those
They
linebackers,
they had the
man.
weapons. They're the real
Those-
difference makers. They are running left and right,
Oh,
sideline to sideline,
It's
filling the holes.
it's ridiculous how good that front seven is.
That's the real
That's
reason
kind of
they
an
won the game.
Yeah,
I was
about to say that was an understatement that I just said. They were.
I was
great.
nowhere near impressed by the way that Tampa Bay played offense. Because if you look
It
at
wasn't
it,
even that good.
outside of the penalties that Kansas City created,
Which, by the way, I will give them at least 2 to 3 of those calls.
are you talking about the one drive where they had 7 or 8?
Yes.
Yeah.
That, and how ridiculous was that? I'm not saying that completely lost them the game, because they could have come back. They could have overcome, because they have overcome bullshit before. But I just think that was the most ridiculous series in football that I had seen in quite a while.
Normally, you don't see 7 or 8 penalties
yeah.
on a drive. And it took away Tyrann Mathieu' interception, which was obviously upsetting, because that's the big one.
That's the one that I'm kind of trying to get to.
I know they called it on number 21, and I still never saw the angle that I wanted to see of that.
They never showed any of the angles of the penalties that they flew out there.
That's going to be my biggest disappointment from this game is, so the NFL touts that it has a whole bunch of camera angles, and they probably do have the most camera angles out of any sports league
I'm sure that they do.
Professional sports league out there. And yet, every single time I feel like they threw a penalty flag, I never saw the camera angle that I wanted to see.
The offsides?
Yeah. Do you know how many times I've seen someone line up offsides and not get called? And then they just call the most random, outlandish offsides every single time.
And didn't even show the going down the line of scrimmage. They showed
the backwards angle from slightly over top, 45 degree. Not even down the line, barely could see if his head was over.
Right.
Just some weird stuff like that really makes
shit like that.
It makes you question a little bit. But good old
quite a bit.
That's just the Tom Brady special. And unfortunately,
the referees, they played a hell of a game. They were the referees played a hell of a game for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They played better than the safeties did.
But I got nothing to say.
You ain't got nothing to say.
I got nothing to say because I don't think it was ultimately them in the end that caused the game.
No, it wasn't.
In a game of football, you got to score touchdowns. You can't kick field goals. And what did one team do and the other team did not?
They did not score touchdowns. I saw something that Patrick Mahomes ran. I sent it to you.
So this is the one big thing that I really wanted to talk about. And if anybody ever says that Patrick Mahomes is not one of the top 3 quarterbacks,
I think they're full of cap.
They are completely full of cap, and I will send you the At There's Layers to It mailbox to send your feed in there because I will tell you why you're wrong.
I'm Big Homie Mars. Instagram and Snapchat. I want to hear it. That boy is phenomenal.
That man is a god, and he tried his ass off to win this game for KC.
But the throws that he did actually make
were amazing
and should not have been. Now, there were 2 that were fucking touchdowns.
Yeah, you had the one Tyreek Hill drop, and then
you had the Pringle drop as well
right
in the end zone, and it literally clacked him right in the fucking face mask. You couldn't catch that?
That was a third down. Both of those were third down plays.
They were crucial
plays where Patrick Mahomes ran around for 7 seconds,
because
he did the whole entire.
They only sent 4. They barely blitzed him, and when they did blitz them, the blitz barely got to him.
Yeah, they blitzed 6 or 7 times. One thing I will say is, I think Patrick Mahomes might be on the same level of juking out his opponents as Tyreek Hill.
Oh, absolutely,
Like
yes.
the shit that I saw during that
Devin
game.
White got his shit.
He
got him souls taken.
That was brutal. The game just wasn't super intriguing. There wasn't really anything that went on. The Bucks didn't really do anything
On
offense to win the game. It wasn't really special.
The only special thing that I will say is that Brady threw Gronk 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
like
and
that
then he
was
threw
it.
one to Antonio Brown. But
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're not going to sit here and sorrow about it too much. Next year we'll
I was
come
about to
around
say,
again.
run
not
it
too long.
back. Run it back.
I still want to say that the Bills can do it next year, and I've already put my life and my body on the line for that.
I bet you Kansas City gets their offensive line together. They're gonna figure out that running back situation as well.
I think that team has no problem getting back to at least the AFC Championship game, even with all the loaded talent in the
They
AFC.
need a run game though.
Oh, absolutely.
They need a run game.
You saw it.
But
it's very hard to not be balanced and win.
I know, because if they would have
score touchdowns.
Listen, honestly, I would have said if they had like a good solid 75 yards on the ground, it would have at least did something for them.
Hands down. Thought it out.
They just played cover 2 and said we on that ass today, man. That's really what they did.
It cost me my sanity. It cost Marion his feelings.
My feelings were hurt.
Fuck you, Tom. You don't deserve 7. You shouldn't have even beat the Washington Redskins. But I was told I have to
Football team.
Ah, man, I'm
Washington
so sorry. Washington
football team. We got to stay politically correct.
I know. My bad.
Washington football team.
But shout out to Chris Sweezum for calling this game. He told me the Bucks were going to win right before the game.
Man, fuck you, Chris.
He also told me that I was being too mean to Tom Brady. And,
Chris?
Fuck Tom Brady. I don't care
I was about
if I
to
hurt
say,
his feelings
Chris.
or not. That man has 7 titles, a supermodel wife, all the money in the world,
Man.
and he kisses his sons on the lips.
And he kisses them right on the lips. Oh, I got to tell you something funny after this.
All right, we can talk about it later.
Just remind me of something about E. We got enough time to talk about the Hall of Famers that got inducted.
Since we're gonna transition over into here, let me just.
Are you gonna pull them up?
I am just gonna pull this up real quick, guys. I'm sorry, I wasn't fully prepared, but
who do you have a problem with?
So I don't have a problem with this.
Is this what I think? Is this who I think you're about to say?
Yeah, I'm more of just surprised that it happened on the first time. All right, so
why?
When I say this,
why?
So,
well, okay.
As everyone knows, I grew up as a Detroit Lions fan.
You're a scandalous ass for this.
I was.
You're a scandalous ass for this, but go ahead.
Okay, you ready for this hot take, everybody?
This is a real hot one.
I don't think Calvin Johnson should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. Am I surprised that he's a first ballot Hall of Famer? Obviously, yes.
I'm not.
Am I okay with him being a first ballot Hall of Famer? I mean, obviously, dude, that man's really good. Never once did I ever say that Calvin Johnson wasn't great, okay? I just don't think he should have been a Hall of Famer. He only played 9 seasons.
Bro.
He was hurt a couple times throughout in the later aspects of his years when he was deteriorating, not only physically, but his relationship with the Detroit Lions as well. So
how long did Barry Sanders play?
10 years. But
how many did Calvin play?
9. Stats are different, man. If he would have played, he would have accumulated the stats, and I don't think it would have been really.
Did you not see the monstrous ass plays that man made? He literally put the team on his back.
I watched it every single game, right? Because that's back when I really watched every game of the Lions. Like,
I mean, at a certain point, we all did.
Uh-huh.
We were all watching Megatron. Just 4 people would be covering him, right? And what would happen? What would be the outcome?
Oh, he'd always catch the ball.
Without any type of, oh shit, is he gonna catch this? Oh shit, he's gonna catch this. Like, no, he's got that.
There's a few seldom drops that I remember, and obviously they're in double, triple coverage.
Right.
And he's never dropping single coverage, and it's not like he's never getting. They
That's
stopped.
what I'm saying.
They stopped covering him 1-on-1 at a certain point. I think at like year 3.
Yeah, immediately. That man literally put his. Okay, so here's my thing about it. Right, that man literally put his life on the line for the city of Detroit and got absolutely nothing for it. They took his fucking money.
Got some broken fingers because Matt Stafford throws the ball so damn hard.
He's got his broken fucking fingers. He's got, like, remember when he first retired and he came on, he had an interview and said, yeah, when I was playing football, like, I could barely get out of bed and I could barely, like, put my feet on the ground and actually walk. And for that man to go out there and actually still perform at a high level for a team that sucks. While he was there, they had, maybe 2 good opportunities to actually do something, and nothing came of it.
Yeah, his rookie year was 0-16.
Right.
So that's not his fault. I mean, he still put up like 800 yards, and then everything after that is like 1,300 yards plus, basically, and then touchdowns sprinkled in. And I get it.
So that alone doesn't...
First ballot? No, I think he should have been like a third ballot Hall of Famer, right? Just purely...
Third?
Yeah, so like third year. If him and T.O. should have been...
Terrell Owens should have been first. I don't give a fuck
ready?
what nobody says.
Okay, let me put this into perspective for everybody. I think there should have been 3 first ballot Hall of Fame wide receivers. It's Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and I will throw Terrell Owens in there. Now, you know, my thing is...
Don't throw Terrell Owens in there just to appease me.
Well, no, Terrell Owens only didn't get a first ballot Hall of Famer is because he's an asshole and people don't like him as a person. That's the only reason he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Was Chris Carter a first?
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. But just to highlight some of the other people on this list, I mean,
I just think that that's a wild take. But go right ahead.
That's more of just a personal take. I know it's a little out there, but that's
really out there, man.
That's a personal take for me.
I just hold Calvin Johnson in a high respect.
I do too, but
incredibly high.
I don't think because he only played 9 years, he deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Not anything against his playing abilities.
I think it's just the playing abilities alone that puts him there.
Well, he was a freak athlete, but other people on this list, you got Peyton Manning.
Hold. Let me ask you this: do you think that Julio Jones should be first ballot?
No, I don't. So,
oh my God,
I think Peyton Manning is the most overrated quarterback of all time, but he definitely accumulated every single stat ever. Well, my bad. Let me rephrase that. He is the most overrated postseason quarterback of all time.
Okay, all right.
Regular season.
He's an animal.
He's no Drew Brees, but
he's an animal.
He's Peyton Manning. He's no Tom, but he's Peyton. You can always count on that forehead. I think my favorite person that got voted into the Hall of Fame, which I'm super excited about, is Charles Woodson. I love Charles Woodson.
I'm happy about that too. Charles Woodson is a damn good football player.
That man has done great things on a football field.
Yeah.
He was always in the right position, making the right play. Right? Ballot. And then John Lynch. John
motherfucking Lynch.
That dude is awesome. Yeah, so it was Peyton, Calvin, and Charles all made it on their first time.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But I mean, it's respectable. It's just I think they're being a first ballot Hall of Famer has to mean that you were a top 3 player at your position.
You don't think that they were?
For multiple years. And I'm
you don't think that they were?
Extended.
Well, Peyton for sure was
Peyton deserves it. Charles Woodson, I mean, there's no reason he doesn't deserve it. Calvin, that's just my take, man. I just don't think. I think the standard was already set to make it hard to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Charles Woodson and Peyton Manning, they checked those boxes off. Calvin, it was always in question, but obviously it turned out.
Grit, man.
Grit. Yeah, grit will get you a lot. Grit will get you a lot.
Yes, it will.
I had to grip my teeth to get this all out here onto the tape. I had to really bite my tongue.
It didn't sound like you did.
That's because I didn't. I was talking real smooth because I really believe it.
So you weren't gritting your teeth then?
I know, I'm just talking nonsense so I can wrap up this episode. Thanks for joining us at There's Layers to It, everybody. Make sure you go follow us at all of our social media. That's at There's Layers to It. Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. Share us out with your friends if you enjoyed this episode. Let us know what you
Let
think
me know what you think about the episode.
and the new setup.
I think it's really good. Also, if you have any poster ideas, let your boy know.
Yeah, we're trying to get some posters to decorate. Doses.